Oh, yeah. I am back. My name is Art Baltazar. I am the host of this famous live show called Famous Cartoonist Draws Things. I am back. My vampire hours have taken over my life. But I will draw things today because I have deadlines. I have things I have to do. Music you're hearing in the background is my son's music, the music from Gordon Baltazar. It's great. We're down to one person watching me. We were up to 5 at one point. Let's do it. I'm going to be on there for a little bit. This is me. This is me right here. That's my face. This is my name. Art Baltazar. Famous Cartoonist Draws Things. And this is number 17. Yes, there has been 17 of these. I don't know how that happened, but it did. But I'm going to draw some stuff today. Today, I'm going to draw some Gilbert. These are some pages I have to get done for Gilbert. And right here is where I drew last night. I was drawing some Gilbert pages last night. He's concerned about the Pyrrhocian invasion. Uh-oh. He's concerned about the Pyrrhocian invasion. So we're going to get Gordy's music up and play it again. It went to the next screen, so I don't know what happened. All right. This is, I'll show you the whole page. I lettered all this yesterday. So I'm going to ink it today. Josh is watching. Oh, yeah, Josh, how you doing, sir? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I didn't do any testing. Oh, yeah, man. Good. I'm glad you're watching, dude. I haven't gone on this week. Or, well, this Monday. Yeah, it's still Monday. But I haven't gone on live too much last week. I did one morning show and one podcast. And the rest I've been playing catch up with my vampire hours. I've been all mixed up and turned over in with these strange hours. And I just woke up today at about 6 o'clock in the afternoon now. So that's why right now is my morning. I just finished some coffee. I finished some breakfast. The good thing about my breakfast, though, it's most people have my breakfast for dinner. So I had some chicken pasta. So homemade chicken zucchini pasta. It was quite good. I didn't eat too much because I'm not a morning guy. I don't eat a lot in the morning. So I had enough to get me going. I had some coffee. And now it's time to work. I just told my family, well, I'll see you in the morning. I got to stay up all night now. This is what happens. This is how I work now. So the pandemic is nothing. Means nothing to me. Nothing has changed. I just keep doing my thing. It's all true. This is the amphibian father. Amphibian's dad. Let's see. Josh asks, do I draw on paper and scan? I draw in my sketchbook, and then I draw all these pages digital. I go right to digital. But I like to draw on paper, but with working this way, this is faster. So I don't really draw on digital too much. I mean, on paper as much as I like to. But I draw right on here. Seems to work out. So amphibian father, he's concerned. Hot. Hot, you say? I'm going to draw these guys. See, I'm going to add some details so you can see how my penciling goes. I pencil right on here. These are amphibians. So you don't need as much detail to ink because I already know what it's supposed to look like. Let's see, I only want to give him a fin. But they can be a little lower. That's the good thing about digital. I can move the pencils around. So it's like cheating. He's cheating. There you go, see? Now his head's not so close to that word bubble. Try these guys over here. Rough them in, and I'm gonna draw them real good. My goal is to finish Gilbert number 3 this week. I know that's a bold goal. I think I could do it. Henceforth, the weird vampire hours. I'm letting the rhythm is gonna get me. The creative control is taking over. It's all true. So I don't normally pencil too much, but when I do, it does make it easier for me to ink the lines. See that? And then I'll probably do like a background on them. They're underwater in Fiblothian. could add a little slight deets. Check out the deets. I think his eyes should be different. Watch. They should be looking at us in surprise and shock, with some shock value. That. Move them up a little bit. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. So your eyes are shocked. These are the whites of their eyes. They're opposite. Like fish eyes. A little bit. Look at them. All right. Looks like I'm all by myself. So, the heck? I'm drawing by myself right now. I think the era of live streaming, doing live shows, has come to an end. I'm going to continue, because I have to do this anyway. Wait, an old phrase when I was working at the at the comic shop, collected Cartoon comics when I was working in there in the early 2000s. When we'd have a book that sat on a shelf and we couldn't sell it, we would just say, nobody cares, nobody cares. And I think I'm here. That's what we would say when we were trying to sell comics. Nobody cares. Hopefully I get some people in here who show some love. If not, that's all right too. I'm inking Gilbert. For those of you just joining, I'm inking Gilbert, the Little Merman. This is my new book coming out from Paper Cuts. I got this. The music you're hearing is from my son, Gordon Baltazar. Little Gordy's music. I got this. People traveling in and out of this live stream. This live stream is like a, it's like when you go to the ice cream shop at the mall and you just do a taste test. That's what this live stream is like today. I've been watching that The Stranger Things season 3. And they got that little girl who always taste tests the ice cream. That's what this stream is like today. Just in and out. Check it out. If you dig it, that's cool. When he changes his eyes. Huh. Oh yeah, Danny, he's here. Welcome, sir. A lot of people going in and out today. But I'm going to persevere. I'm going to do this. My vampire hours have taken over my time. And I've been working a lot of strange hours of the day and all day, all night. So my live streams have become very unpredictable. My morning show hasn't been on for about a week. The last one I did was last Monday, so I want to try to get back, but it's difficult when I can't set an hour of time because I don't know if I'm going to be around. I need to sleep. It's weird. I miss a lot of phone calls and things like that when I sleep these weird hours. People are always looking for me and they don't know where I went. But I am here. This is Gilbert, issue number 3, volume 3. I'm going to shorten this guy. He's not jabbing him in the stomach. I see some of the comments. Oh, I'm all cut up. Take a swig for the working man. You guys hear the ice? Oh, that's refreshing. Today's drinking choice is just a Diet Pepsi. Did I happen to paint anything? No, I didn't paint on Saturday. I did a lot of writing and I had to catch up on a few things. But hopefully I can paint again on this Saturday. I had to catch up on a lot. I'm falling behind on some things. And in this quarantine time, I feel like I'm the only guy who's not quarantined. Well, most artists are still doing their own thing. Most artists are still doing their own thing, and it's not affecting us so much. Especially now with the book publishers they're still awake. They're still doing their thing. I'm still getting emails from people, so I got to keep it going. But now everything is due. Now my goal was to finish everything by June 1st, so I'm trying to finish as much as possible so I can finish by June 1st, which is a task unto itself. But I'm going to do it. But my hours have been a little goofy, but I'm going to do it. But when I get into the zone like this, I lose track of time. All I do is worry about my deadlines and just draw it and lock myself in a room and just go. And that's kind of what happens. But I listen to lots of movies and watch a lot of shows and things like that. Podcasts, a lot of podcasts. Just like video, like YouTube stuff. Just let it go, let it play. It's not always the most healthy because they got a lot of. Anyone can make a YouTube video with crazy opinions about different things, about different movies. But I find it all entertaining. I like hearing what people think about different things. Let me see. Ooh, I see the comments are scrolling away. I can't see. Yes, am I in a pace to get everything done by June 1st? I hope so. It's looking pretty good. That's the goal, man. I need to finish because I have lots that I want to accomplish here. And I need to because my brain and stress level is a little bit it's tight. It's daunting, whatever they call it. I just want to get done. I need a little bit of time just to do some other things. And the painting on Saturday helps a lot because I don't have to think about anything. It's like a different form of thinking to just to be able to paint and be free. But June 1st, I wanted to start making some custom Migos. That's what I wanted to do. So hopefully I'll get there. But I just need like a weekend, you know, like give me 3-4 days so I can just goof around and do nothing. And that's what I haven't been able to do. Not complaining, but I just, I need to finish up deadlines. And I'd like to get this workload off me because I've been working like this for the last 2 years. And I need a payoff, you know? Like we've been planning a mission for a long time. It's like waiting for the next Star Wars movie. And when it comes out, you're done. You're like, oh, good. I never have to do that again. So hopefully by June 1st, yeah, I could be done with a lot of this stuff. And if it's not June 1st, it's going to be real close to June 1st. This Gilbert book I want to finish this week. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to come close. If not this week, then next week or something. But I gotta get it done, man. Just gotta finish. I need to finish. I'm going stir crazy a little bit. It feels good. It's normal for me. But I have to finish. Oh yeah. What podcast do you listen to other than Yoko Chips? I listen to I like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's really good. I like him because he can interview anybody and he has intelligence. Whoever he's interviewing, it's fun. He knows what he's talking about with them. He asks the right questions, it gets them to talk. I listen to Adam Carolla now and then until I get bored with him. I was listening to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast for a little while. I hear a lot of guys on YouTube. I just watch their videos. A lot of movie review guys. I like the Red Letter Media guys. They're funny. I like Chris Stuckman. He's good. There's different guys that I like their shows. And I like I like watching a lot of Star Wars videos. Of course, all those other ones like Looper and all of those. A lot of times I'll just put on YouTube and just let it play. And I love listening to music too, so I hear lots of music. Music is probably the thing I listen to most. I just let music go. But I love Lake Street Dive. I listen to them a lot. I listen to Reina Del Cid. I really like her and her friend. They play, they do some cover songs. They do original songs. And I like Josh Turner and his buddy. They're called The Other Favorites. I like them. I like a lot of stuff. So I just I hear all kinds of stuff all the time, all day long. And then, of course, my guy Gordon Baltazar's music's good too. Oh yeah, D. Brad, good to see me back live. Yeah, man, it felt like forever, but I went live last week twice. Once last Monday, I did a live morning show, but it was in the afternoon, and then I went live with the boys on Friday, or was it Saturday? One of those days. Might have been Saturday. So I'm losing track of days. I don't know. And then I'm doing this today because I could. The time I was getting ready to go and draw, and I'm like, man, I want to go back to doing a morning show, and then like, yeah, I'll just do a live show today. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm energetic. I have my work to be done. And last week I was doing a lot of work that would be boring to watch. So I kind of didn't do any live drawing shows yesterday because I didn't have anything to ink or pencil. I had to transfer the pages. I should have just did it because I only got 2 people watching now, so it wouldn't have made a difference. I should have just did it last week. But the pages were just like me drawing borders and stuff. Drawing all these lines. I could have did that. I should have. Next time I will. Next time I'll do that and please the masses. I need to. That's key, to please the masses. But yeah, vampire hours have taken over. And every time I'm ready to go live, it's like 3 a.m. and nobody's on. I tried it once, but I deleted. Nobody's there. Nobody even cares. So I'm like, nah, I'll just wait. And then there's been a few times where I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. That was today. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And I thought maybe I'll do a live stream before I go to bed. But you could tell I was hurting. I was tired. I looked like I stood up all night. Maybe I'll do that today. Yeah, why not, right? But I like to dress up for you guys for the morning shows. I like to wear the ties and the hats and look cool. And at the end of the night, you might get the hurting cartoonist. He's all hurting. It's like he did it, like he just ran a marathon. It's drawing style. You guys celebrating May the 4th? I saw it last night. I celebrated at 12:01 I watched Rise of Skywalker again. When you don't think about that movie, you just watch it. It's pretty good. Don't let the expectations hurt you. It is good. There's a lot of different adventure. There's a lot of planets, a lot of characters. And it reminds me of the way I write Gilbert and Craybabies and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Let's see what you guys are saying. Dan says, when you make a book like Gilbert, do you have the basic plot done before you start drawing? Yes, I do a lot of, I do like an outline. And I break up the outline into page counts because the most difficult thing now is writing a whole 80-page story. And like when we would do Tiny Titans, I wouldn't have the pages in mind. I would just, in like Tiny Titans and Wolf Boy, I would just draw the gag. And then I would just write until I got to the gag. But with this Gilbert, I have to fill up 80 pages. And I know how it's going to end usually, but I have to get there. And as long as there's a solid ending to the story or some kind of theme in the middle of it, then I could get it. But there's been some times where I go into the story, I got to write a book, and I have no idea what it's going to be. And that happened with a little bit with each Gilbert book. But then after I think about it, I get a story. Because Gilbert's the kind of character who he's a kid, so he goes with things. He follows the adventure. He doesn't really cause it, but things are happening around him that he becomes part of the adventure. So when you got to think about it that way, when you're like a 10-year-old kid, you don't save the day. You just go out there and you get in trouble. You do different things. You don't know what stuff is, and then everything that's happening around you is happening around you. So that's kind of what he is. So there's a bigger world to Gilbert, which is kind of fun. That's the exciting thing for me. Like, you get to see what Gilbert's world is all about. And maybe he's meeting a character who's dangerous, or maybe he doesn't see it. So that's kind of the whole mystery of him. and the world he's in is kind of fun. And I'm writing a number 4 right now, and I didn't have a story for issue 4 until the publisher asked me, "Will you do a 4th one?" So I came up with a story, and I think it's pretty good. It's the most where there's intentional bad guys. Like, so far there hasn't really been a villain. There's been a villain. The Pyrokians are bad guys, but there hasn't really been a threat going through the whole book. The Pyrokians are it, and they were in issue 1 and issue 3. And in issue 2, there was no real bad guy. They just went on an adventure. There was who you thought might be bad guys, but they turn out, spoiler, it turned out they weren't bad. But that's the kind of episodes I like. That's the kind of stories I like writing, where it's not you can't predict. It's unpredictable. I always say it's like watching a Simpson episode. You could watch a Simpson episode and you think it's going one way, and it turns out it's totally something else. It's like watching Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock. That movie starts out one way and ends up a different way. I like stories like that. Especially if you're like with Gilbert, something could happen in here, and it may not be part of the story, or it'll come back later, but that's just the way things are in the universe. So it's kind of fun. So yes, that was I do have the story plotted out, and what I do is I write an outline. I'll break up the story into it's an 80-page story, so I'll break up the outline into 20 pages that in a section. I'll make like boxes. So the first 20 pages, he has to do this. Second 20 pages, he has to do this. And that's how it will go throughout the whole thing. And in the last 20 pages, there has to be the end. This conclusion must happen by the time I get to this page. That makes sense to me, right? We don't know what makes sense to you, Balthazar. Let's see what you guys said. D. Brad said, I ordered a pen and a pad and pen to do digital like you. Can't wait until it arrives Christmas in May. Cool, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I have a Wacom Cintiq. You said they call it something different now. But yeah, that's what I draw on. A lot of people draw on iPad Pros, but I haven't done that. I draw with I got to sit with a chair. It's stationary. It's where my desktop is. So it's not very portable. I got to leave it here, and it's heavy. But it makes me happy. And it's kind of good, like, sometimes I need, like, the art studio vibe where when I'm done, I could walk away and close the door. I need that a little bit. I don't need my art studio in a whole house, because then I'll never leave it. Not that I want to leave it, but sometimes you need that day off so you can come back and it's fresh. It's true. That happens a lot. I need to refresh. Wait, he doesn't have this hair. He's got like this. Amphibian father is very intimidating. You're going to see later in the book, the amphibian father meets up with Gilbert's father. Which is kind of cool. I'm going to make this color. There you go. Look at that. He's looking at him. He's very concerned. Look at the look on young Gilbert's face. Dan said, do I draw pages in chronological order? Usually, I pencil them out that way. But sometimes I ink them different. I just bring up a batch of pages a lot of times. I'll bring up a batch and just start inking them in batches. So sometimes they don't always get finished in order. Or it's so weird because like I'll turn in like 10 pages, like I'll turn in page like 30 to 42, and then it takes me a month later to turn in page like 27. So sometimes I skip over stuff. But I like to, if a page is too much detail, I'll work on it a little bit at a time because it does get intimidating. If I break it up in little time, then I can handle it. Unless like it's the first thing I work on. When I get down to work, the first thing, like the morning thing with the coffee still going, I'll pick the hardest thing to draw. The thing that needs the most work, and I'll usually finish it that morning. But at night, when I'm drawing all night, I gotta draw in pieces. So like I'll draw this panel here because it's big faces. So I'll ink this panel and then move on to something else. Maybe up here I'll move on to him. That's what happened last night. I drew this big panel because they're big faces, and big faces are easier to draw. But I didn't finish the page, so I can continue it today. So yes, I don't always draw in chronological order, but sometimes I do. I'm gonna take a swig for the workmate. You hear the ice? It's good stuff. Oh yeah. Dennis, your art and creations all have a similar vibe and feel. Do you have any characters or ideas that are on the opposite spectrum, the Breaking Bad type? Yes, I have some very evil stories, but I don't know if I'll get to them because that's a whole different career path for me. Because if I drew those stories, they would look like I drew it, and everyone would think they're for kids, and they would buy it and think, wow, this is evil. So if I had those stories, I think I'd have to write them for someone else to draw. Like it'd be cool if I wrote an evil story for like Sienkiewicz or something like that. Someone very painterly like that with the ink splashes. But I do have some, or even Magnolia. That might be cool. But I have a few stories, and I have a lot of ghost stories based off of experience, and I think writers could probably write the perfect murder or the perfect crime, especially the guys who write Breaking Bad. So if you're going to commit a perfect crime and you're sitting there in a room full of guys and going over it and over it, there's some solutions happening there, you know? So I often had to write some stories. What got me going with that, I had to write stories at one point for Lex Luthor. You had to think about what would Lex Luthor do? How would he get even with this? How would he get even with this alien from Krypton without breaking the law, without hurting him? So yeah, I do get very creative with revenge type story plots. But I don't act on them. but yeah, I could be my mind can go there. And I'm sure that if I wanted to, I could write something awesome for like Mike Norton or Tim Seeley or something. Be cool to see them draw one of them. But I have a few stories I wrote about my own life that are I want to get to them eventually. But those type I could draw them. They'd be safe for me to draw because they'd be my own life stories, but they would be more mature. Not like sexy mature, just like more mature. Like these aren't as funny as his other books, you know. I have a story I wrote about my early comic career and about all the girls and relationships. It's mostly a book about relationships, and it's like a soap opera almost. And but it takes place in modern era, but it's me thinking about things because my wife is faced with she might die, and it's a true story. And so that one's really cool. And that story's called Imitating Art. And that one, I've been working on that for a long time. Anytime I have some extra time, I start writing down ideas, and I have it actually scripted on a Word document. And then I have another one called another book, another self autobiography is called Scraping Plastic. It's like that time when you're so poor that you can't afford to buy anything, and scraping plastic means when you're rubbing on a deodorant every morning and your deodorant's down to the plastic and you're just scraping that plastic on your armpit. That's where the term comes from. So that's where like I used to say that, man, I'm scraping plastic today. So that's where the term comes from. And that's so far that's the working title of my story. It's called Scraping Plastic. And that's a really good one. And for a long time I didn't write it because I didn't know what the ending was, because I didn't live it yet. And now I lived it, and I actually have an ending to the story. And the ending is the whole thing. Both of these series are very, very personal. It's a little bit like the Big Amoeba. The Big Amoeba was a personal story too. That really happened. That's a true story too. So I want to do this, but I just need the time. And at the time I started writing them when I did the Big Amoeba story. I just have to get to it. That's kind of why I want to finish up things in June, because there's a lot of plans. I got plans to move on to other things. Like, I don't want to just be done and so I could relax. I want to be done so I could work on these other things that I have. I have other things on my mind, you know? So it's a very strange situation. Like, I want to finish stuff so I could do more stuff. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Let's see what you said. Which of your creations has had the most commercial success? Did it surprise you? Yeah, what surprised me was Wolf Boy, Patrick the Wolf Boy. I don't know about commercial, but it got popular. The popular success of that was really cool, because all of a sudden everybody in Artist Alley knew me, knew who I was, and knew I was the guy drawing with crayons and all that stuff. And they we got the attention of all the companies, and that's how I got the job with Disney and DC Comics, and so that was real surprising. And I'm a believer of no one's going to hire you. You have to do it yourself. So that was, me and Franco did that together. And that's what really surprised me. And that was like when Hulk Hogan says, you got to pay your dues, brother. Well, that was it. We paid our dues with that book. And we did books on our own before we even teamed up to do Wolf Boy. And it's always a struggle. Like, I make a comic book and one kid buys it, and I'm so happy that one kid is into my books. And like a little bit with the stream right now, there's 2 people watching the stream, but I'm talking to you guys. And it's so, it's like, you know, as long as I have one person that's into this, I could keep talking. And same with Action Cat was very surprising too, because the Action Cat success for Action Cat, I thought it was really funny that he was successful before there was any product done with Action Cat, and he was just the mascots of our store, and kids were drawing him, and he was appearing places, and I had Dark Horse was interested in publishing him, and all these different things were happening, and it got a little overwhelming with Action Cat, and he kind of took over. Action Cat became its own thing. It kind of I was no longer in control. It kind of started driving the car itself, you know, and that was kind of fun. But I never know what character it's going to be. But when I try to make it a character, it doesn't work. I don't know what it is. Like if I try to if I try to do a character like Gilbert, for instance, I'm pushing, I'm working really hard, but I don't see the success as much as like other things. Well, she don't have teeth. I don't always see the success. It will be successful. I don't know. I think it will be. But I think I'm at a bigger scale now. Like, the people buying my books, I don't know who they are. So the people who were buying Action Cat and Gilbert, I knew who the people were. So Action Cat had a different popularity because all of a sudden he's all over the cans and the electrical boxes in Skokie, and Wolf Boy was like in everyone's office, so the successes are different. But of course, Tiny Titans is really cool. But when the character is my own guy who came from my own brain, and that's more successful. And Gorilla was really cool too. But the kids only knew what that was. The mainstream audience didn't know, but it was still fun. So every character has a level of success. But the biggest payoff was probably Patrick the Wolf Boy. And I wanna do more of him. We have stories written and drawn out. I just got to get to them and finish them up. And see, that's one of the things where I want to finish these things so I can do other things. I think I have another, I don't want to say 600, but maybe I do have another 600 strips of Wolf Boy that I want to finish. It's possible I got that many. I know Franco was sending me like 60 pages a week at one point. I got to get them done. That's it. I just got to do them. So there's a lot of stuff to do. I got more stuff to do than the time I have left. Because I'm already 51, and I've been doing this since I'm 21. So I don't know if I could do this another 30 years. Maybe. I'll be 81. I'll be an old guy still talking about Gilbert. I don't know. Imitating art sounds very interesting. I've experienced scraping plastic. I know what you mean. Yeah, man. I like imitating art. That's a great title. I pitched it to a publisher at one point, and by the end, I told them the story. We were both crying. So then I knew I wanted to do it myself, and I'm glad I didn't let them do it because that publisher was gone. They're gone now, so I'm kind of glad I didn't let them do it. So at least I could do it on my own terms at some point. And Dan also said, the older I get, the more I like those personal stories. I hope you get to them someday. Yeah, I will. I will eventually. I hope so, man. I'm gonna get there when everything slows down. And hopefully I never slow down. But I don't know. I have a few things planned after I finish this stuff in June. I have another year of work, but it's gonna slow down a bit where I won't have to be working on 6 books at once. Maybe it'll only be 3, then 2. So at least 2 I'm going to have. So that'd be good. D. Brad likes the stories. Thanks, man. It's educational fun. Thanks, brother. Yeah, man, you just got to do your thing. I don't know how to be successful. All I know is you draw your book, show up on time, and people will see it. That's all. The Brad predicts Gilbert will be a show. I hope so, man. I have it in my contract with if it does become a show. So that's why I'm very hopeful. And same with Drew and Jot. And after I finish this Gilbert, I gotta jump into Drew and Jot because I've been lagging on that too. But Drew and Jot goes faster, even though it's a 200-page book, but it goes a little faster because I draw it faster. I draw it all crazy like. There's less detail. There's more scribbly detail. But Drew and Jot's gonna be fun. You're gonna like that story. And I think Drew and Jot is probably the most creative thing I've done ever. I really think that's my favorite, the best thing I've ever done. I got to get back to it. The cool thing is like it's from Boom Studios, but they're all on my site. Like we're all trying to get this thing done, and I know this time off has affected them a little bit. And then a lot of people when they're into the comic book market versus book market, that's when things slow down, because the book market is so far ahead with deadlines that hopefully it looks like all of this stuff will be done by the time everything resumes. So it's full steam ahead stuff. But with comic books, it's people are slowing down because next week's books should be out, So the comic book industry was hit because they do periodicals, and the book market was maybe it was hit. Bookstores were hit because people can't go shop, but not as bad because I know me because my deadlines are not here yet. So if that makes sense, it does make sense. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh wait, the comments have gotten away. I gotta go back and scroll, but I want to finish these dots. Let's see what it says. It says, Danny said, I said this before, but nobody runs a more friendly and inviting artist alley table than you. Oh, thanks, brother. I met Sergio Aragonis many times back in the mid-'80s and '90s, and he had very similar experience with it. Yeah, Sergio's cool, man. He just loves what he does. My father started taking me to convention when I was 5. Now I'm 46. You guys are so unique. You guys are just great. I can't tell you how bright and happy my house. Your art. Oh man, thanks, man. You're gonna make me cry, sir. That's awesome, man. And I'm so happy when you love a painting I make. It brings me joy as well, and it's just cool. And that's cool, man. I'm gonna paint some more stuff. And see, it inspired me to go paint now. Kevin Bixby's here. Oh yeah, man. And Danny says, the secret to your success is because of honesty and friendliness. Treating everyone that approaches your table with respect and enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is one of the main ingredients. Yeah, man, thanks. I agree. There's a lot of people. People go to the conventions to meet somebody unique, to see something, to see an event that they could take home with them. And when they meet, we've always thought this way. If you come to our table at Artist Alley, we don't want to just look like normal guys. We want to be something that you're going to say, wow, I just met those guys. That kind of attitude. So for years, we wouldn't even sit down by the table. We would stand up. And there's a lot of psychological things you could do to people, and they don't even know you're doing it to them. Like I constantly move. Well, back when I would stand, I would constantly rock back and forth. I'd move. I put my hands to the side. I would not get a sales pitch. I would just talk to people, ask them how they're doing, compliment their shirts, whatever it is. It's like something really, it's really easy to do, but people just don't know how. And so engagement and interaction is the best thing. And also, people need to feel like they discovered a world, they discovered a club, they discovered something that they could belong to. And once they discover you that way, now they're welcoming. And I remember meeting people, and I remember lots of faces, but I never remember names until I see it written down or something. Or I write them, can you write this to my daughter? I'll remember the kid's name. And but the key is to recognize everybody, even when you don't. So, but that's a big deal. People are coming to meet us and see us and talk to us, and we need them to experience us. So it's real different. And that's kind of like what we did with our comic shops. We want it real difficult for you to leave the Aya comic shop. We encourage loitering. We encourage hanging out at our store. And when you come to our store, it's like you're in our world, and now it's your world. You're part of it. You're like Babu Frick in Star Wars. You belong there now. You're part of the story. People are like, who's Babu Frick? It's that little guy who rebooted C-3PO. I didn't know who he was too after I saw it 3 times. I'm like, oh, that's Babu Frick. But you want to be Babu Frick in our world. But yeah, man, thanks. I that's why I try to dress up in the morning show, and I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to look different than the guy you met at the convention. It's me. My kids get to see Dad, but you don't want to see the dad guy. You don't want to see the guy who watches his wife mow the lawn. You want to be the guy. You want to see the guy with the tie who draws funny things. So it's a persona, and I learned that from Morrison. What's his name? He writes the fancy books for DC. Morrison's his last name, not Van Morrison. I don't know, but he's the cool guy. And learn that from him, just talking to him. Yeah, you're not the guy who goes to the mailbox every day. You're a different guy. The responsibilities of being a famous cartoonist. See, you guys didn't know all these secret ingredients of things. Oh yeah, Kevin Bixby he's on the right side of the video. I know, man. I watched your live video yesterday. It was pretty cool. I was drawn with you. And it's funny because I was going to go live last night, but I started watching you instead. I'm like, this is cool. Someday, I'll get to table at a show with the Oh Yeah guys. Yeah, man. You got to sign up, Kevin. Just sign up for the show. And if they know you and they know your work, they'll put you, especially C2E2, they'll put you in that aisle with all the cartoonists. That's where Mike Nagin's real good with that. He's real good with that. He puts like artists together. Like anyone who draws Batman is all together, and anyone who draws cartoonist stuff is all together. It's pretty fun. He knows what he's doing. Danny said, Joe Madden and Phil Jackson are very similar in their approaches to handling people like you. Oh, thanks, man. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, you have to, it's impossible for me to meet and remember everybody. Because I meet, I probably meet thousands of people a year. I would go with that. It could be hundreds, but I'm going to say over 1,000, maybe 2,000. I meet a lot of people, and every time I go somewhere, a lot of times I have to talk. I do a lot of panels and talking in front of people, and I talked to a graduating class one time. There was 1,000 kids and their parents, or 500 kids and their parents, or 1,000 people. So I talked to a lot of people, and anytime I meet somebody, I don't pretend. I just feel like if I don't know them, they know me. Somehow they know me, so I have to. They know me. I can't ignore them. Say I don't know who you are, because that's impossible. They know me. And I met a news guy from Fox News, Chicago Fox News, and I saw him at C2E2, and he was on his phone, and he was getting his cameraman ready, and he was getting ready for all of the people coming into the door, because the line was lining up, and he was just standing there, and he was wearing a C2E2 shirt. And when I saw him, his name's Jake Hamilton from the news, and I went, "Hey, Jake," and he looked at me and goes, "What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it." And so I looked at him and I thought to myself, that's kind of sounds like me. So I knew that he made me feel great, and I got to experience what it feels like to for somebody to do that to me, because it was kind of fun. So and Jake Hamilton, he interviewed Brother Bear at our store, because we had Fox News at our store one time Fox Morning Show, Fox Chicago, Good Morning Chicago, whatever it's called. And when I told him, hey, you were at our comic book shop, and he said to me, that was a great day, man. I remember. So I don't know if he remembers, because that was like 4 years ago. But it was cool that he said that, you know. So that's kind of like when I experienced it as a fan, it was kind of fun. So I'm like, that's got to be how. That's how it is. That's how you do it. And he looked good. He was handsome. He had good hair. He had nice clothes on. And I met the guy from TV. I didn't meet the guy who mows his lawn. I met the guy from TV, you know? So there you go. Yeah, Grant Morrison's the guy. I talk to him anytime I see him. Every time I meet him, I talk to him, and he gives me insight. We compare notes. It's real cool. Take a swig for the working man. I got this. I got this. And the goal is to C2E2, but I don't know if I'm ready for it. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, because I know you have to get approved to go there. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's up to you. I don't know. I don't know how it works. But so I know a lot of my friends don't get in. I don't know exactly what they do. I know you have to have a book, something published, and I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know if you can just be a poster guy. I don't know how it works, but yeah, you might want to try smaller shows maybe. Because C2E2, if you don't get in, a lot of people's dreams are crushed. You don't want that to happen to you, so take it slow and easy. It'll happen though. Because my first show was not C2E2 either. I used to do the Holiday Inn shows in my neighborhood. Stuff like that. And say, could just be in my own head. It could be. You could apply, but just don't. If you don't get in, don't let it discourage you. Just do your own. Keep doing your thing, and just apply in the following year. That's it. Send them your comics. Because everyone has to start out somehow. It's true. Danny says, can you talk about your first convention experience in an artist alley, Chicago? What year? Was there ever a comic writer or artist that you were surprised knew you of your work? Yeah, both. Convention experience. I used to do all kinds of small shows. And I remember I did a show one time. I was hurting. I call them tumbleweed shows, or I would do a show where like one guy would buy my book, and I was just so happy. And I used to do little toy shows. Anywhere I could get a table or a free spot, I'd get one. And it got to where like I wasn't making money. I was so poor, and I used to go to these shows, and sometimes in Chicago, my parents would drive there and bring me lunch, and then end up buying lunch for all the guys on Artist Alley. So they would show up with like a bag of McDonald's burgers and just pass out burgers to the other guys around me. It was pretty cool. But I first went to Chicago Comic-Con after I graduated college, and I went there for portfolio reviews. But every portfolio review, I just got burned. Like, they told me I was awful. I didn't know how to draw. My anatomy was off. Never going to make it as a comic artist and all this stuff. And when I walked away from there, I was so discouraged. I was sad. I was angry. And I know my brother was with me, and we drove. It was in Rosemont, and I lived close to Rosemont. I lived like 40 minutes south from there at the time. And so I drove back home real mad, and then on the way home, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a table next year. I'm just going to table and not care about anything and just do my own thing. And that's what happened. And I printed my own book. I made the Cray Baby Adventures, and I just started selling books on my own at the conventions. And I did. Then I wanted to figure out, they were mini comics, and I wanted to find out how to make them larger. Like, how do you make real comics, like regular size, full size? So I had to research. I had to find printers and ask people at the distributors, and it was a journey. I had to figure all that out. But 6 months later, I started printing full-size books, and I had to borrow money from friends. I had to borrow money from bosses. I always had to get $1,000 loan for people. I was real poor, and I would always have to. I worked up paperwork like, lend me $1,000 and I'll pay you back at this time. I would do that a lot, and then I printed up like 5 books, Cray Baby Adventures, but I would go all over the place. I got a table at the first Chicago Comic Con before Wizard bought them in the 92, maybe 90. I started in 92. That's when I graduated school, and that was it. I'm going to be professional now. And so 92, 93, 94, I was renting tables at Comic Con, and I just decided I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And when I discovered that there was conventions in other cities that I could drive through, like I could drive to Pittsburgh, I could drive to Indianapolis, I could drive to Detroit, I could drive to, I ended up driving to Florida, I ended up driving to New York, Boston. I drove all over the country, and I would sell my little Cray Baby books to all the people in these other cities. So that's when I discovered I used to venture out, and I used to get further and further away from home. I would get eventually leading to San Diego. I think my first San Diego con was 1993. So it all went really pretty fast. But my very first convention that I was ever at, I was across from Adam West. And it was my very first show ever. And I thought, wow, I made it. That was fast, you know. And I got to hang out with him all weekend, and nobody came to the show. So it was real different. And I realized that not all shows were like that. They just put us all in one big room. It was me and Adam West, and a few famous guys from Marvel were there. It was like right before the Image Comics boom, because I think Image was probably 90, 94, 95. I started in like 91. I graduated in 92, but I was doing conventions the year before that. I did a few. I was doing art shows. I was trying to sell paintings and stuff. So there's just been a lot. I started out small and just kept gradually getting larger shows, because I would find out there's more and more shows. And then there's no internet, so you have to go to the convention and go to the table that had all the flyers. So I would read all the flyers and say, oh, I could drive here, I could drive there, I could go there. That's affordable. Oh, but when I would go to these other cities, I wouldn't have hotel rooms because they're too expensive. Like a hotel room's always like $150 a night. But if you get a cheap one, maybe it's $80 a night. And it was still expensive. So I would sleep in my van. I had a van. I had a Blazer, a 4x4 Blazer truck. I would drive that all over, and I would sleep in the car. And I would find state parks and campsites. So I would bring blankets and pillows and an alarm clock and soap and toothbrush and all that stuff. And I would stay at state parks so I could use their shower. I paid like $18 for the weekend. And then I just parked my truck, and I'd have a spot. And then I put my little ticket on that spot, and I'd just return every day. I'd get drive-through food, go to my campsite, and just eat it. And that's what I would do. And I would sleep at the campsite, set my alarm clock, wake up in the morning, and then take a shower with spiders and spider webs and stuff. And then I'd be all clean with new clothes. So as long as people didn't know where I was staying, and as long as I was clean, then I was okay. And that's what I did that for a few years. I did that up until I married my wife, and she started going with me, and she said, well, how do you do this? And we would camp. We would go to the state parks, and she liked that. She goes, this is cool. I'm like, yeah. It's a lot cheaper than spending $1,000 on a hotel room all weekend, where I'd spend $18. It's true. Let's see what you guys are saying. I went on a long story. Oh, yeah, you want to find out So I was surprised anyone knew my work. Yeah, I always meet, like when I met Bare Naked Ladies, they knew who I was. And when I met Ukla the Mock, they knew who I was. And I meet guys like that, like guys who I'm a fan of, and then they meet me and they're like, "Oh, what? You're Art Baltazar?" And that's kind of weird. And of course, Mike Mignola knowing who I was, and we became friends. And it's so weird. It's just weird. And now everyone knows who I am because of what I do. They know my work more than they know me. And when I met Neil Adams, he knew my work from Super Pets. It's kind of cool, you know. Kevin Bixby, I will say the small shows I've done are so much fun. Yeah, man. I like small shows. Those other ones, what are they called? Mighty Cons? They're in DuPage County or in Milwaukee. Those are good shows. That's a good way to start like that. Build up your audience, build up your popularity, and just gradually go bigger and bigger. Kevin Bixby says the first show I shared a table with Chris Russo right around the time Mini Marvels came out. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, man. Me and Chris Russo first shared a table. The show put us next to each other, and we didn't know each other yet. And when we met, he said to me, "Are we supposed to fight now?" Like, I think so, because it was the Marvel DC crossover. He was drawing little Marvel guys. I was drawing little DC guys. And it was funny. That's how I first met him. And we posed to fight, and then we ended up shaking hands. It's kind of fun. Let's see what you guys are saying. Dan said, I attended those Chicago Comic-Cons at Ramada Inn. Yeah, and the Rosemont Convention. I went to those in the downtown Chicago area, too. Yeah, I used to go to ones at the Congress Hotel downtown, yeah. Those are such great memories. I worked for Comic Store in 89 to 87. It's probably retailer. Oh, cool, man. Let me see what it says. Does retail some of your shows? Oh, probably, man. My cousin used to take me when I was a kid. I used to go to the Comic-Con downtown. It was at the Congress Hotel. And I remember seeing comic book art for the very first time. And I saw some X-Men pages. They were either Dave Cockrum or John Byrne pages. And I saw that they were drawing larger. They were drawn on 11x17 boards. And I wanted to buy them. And I said, I like that poster. Can I buy that poster? And then the guy told me how much it was. I was like, why is it so expensive? Why does it cost a lot of money? And I must have been about 12. And he said, that's the artwork from the book. And I was like, how can that be the artwork from the book? Because the book is so small, you know? And then my cousin explained to me that the artists they draw large on bigger paper. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And that's the same cousin who used to leave books at my house. He used to come over with his muddy shoes after football practice. And I was a kid, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old. And he was in high school. And then he ended up taking me to the Comic-Con in the Congress Hotel downtown Chicago. And then the Ramada Inn is I used to go there on my own. And that was cool. And I probably did see you, Dan Wisniewski. I probably did see you. Because I used to walk around that place and buy Secret Wars figures. Because I needed Iceman and Electro. And I remember paying like $55 for each guy. I needed them. And my friends were freaking out. I brought all my money I made, whatever job I had at the time. I was working at White Castle for a little bit. I was working at pizza places. Whatever money I made, I would take the money and go to the Comic-Con and buy all the toys I needed to fill up my superpowers and my Secret Wars guys. And eventually my Migos. I bought Invisible Girl at one of those shows. Yeah, and she was $20, and my friend said, wow, $20 for a toy. I guess it's okay because she's 20 years old, so it's like $1 a year. I remember him saying that. Like, yeah, I need it. You can never believe that I was spending money on toys. I'm still doing that. Yeah. D. Brad colored some of the drawings I worked on, and during the previous live shows, I messaged them to you. Oh, I see them. I see that you sent me some. I will show them at the end. I like showing what you guys sent me at the end. It's kind of fun. Let's see what he's saying. This volcano you speak of, can you take me to it? Of course. Gilbert's real happy. Of course. I remember when I first created Gilbert. This was in 2000, 2001. And I didn't know what to call him. I wanted his name to be something like, I wanted to have a rhythm. Like, so it sounds like bum bum the bum 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 bum. That's what I wanted his name to be. But I didn't know what that was. And then I threw around the names like Finny, Finster, like nah. Like Scale Boy, I don't know what to call him. And then one day it just hit me, Gilbert. 2 L's. Like a gill. He has gills. Because he's a gill man, gill boy. Because at first I thought gill boy, but I don't want people to think he's Creature of the Black Lagoon. Oh, Kevin Bixby still goes to the shows looking for superpowers. Yeah, me too. I forget which ones I need. But I got most of them. I think I'm missing one of the... I'm missing the... those guys. Darkseid's guys. I might be missing Desaad and his son, Calabac. I don't think I have them. I gotta look though, because I haven't looked at them for a while. And I always think I'm missing guys, but then I realize I have them. What's Rose's favorite creation of yours? She loves Wolf Boy. She likes Gilbert too. She always likes the small, cute guys. But yeah, she loves Wolf Boy. And my older son, Sonny, likes Crybabies. That's his favorite. Captain Camel. Because he when I was dating Rose, Sonny was reading my Crybaby books. So that's how he knew me. And when she said, I'm going out with that guy, she goes, you're going out with the guy who draws the Crybabies? So that was kind of weird. Because we, our lives intercircled on a lot of people. Because we used to go to the same church or the church activities. And I used to belong to the teen club at the church. And she would, she knew the people. So we met at a carnival at some point. But I didn't really, I didn't pursue her. She was a girl who bought my comic. So somehow Sonny got my comic book. And they had to been there because I used to set up a booth at the carnival to sell my books. And then when she started going out with me, I realized that her son had my books already in his house. So now he's my son. So that's kind of weird. I took him over. I got him. Yeah. So it's like a small world. And then we moved out of the neighborhood, and now I live in an area where I don't know anybody, which is fine. I never run into any strangers that I didn't see in a while. Now I don't know anybody. So it's benefits. There's benefits to that, I tell you. See, it's weird in these books. In the kids' books, I'm not supposed to draw these exclamation points. And I don't know why. Maybe because it looks like yelling. But with this dog, I'm going to try to do it. And if the editor tells me to take him out, I'll take him out. See, because it adds to it. Because he is shouting. He's loud. I think I'm going to have to take him out. I'm going to take him out. I don't know why I always have to. This will come later. If I take him out now, then I won't have to take him out later. It's weird. I don't understand, but it's a way of life. Maybe because people have sensitive ears when they're reading. Why is he yelling? I don't know. There's a good song here. I always turn it up. I gave you one of the guys. Oh, did you? You sent me, oh yeah, that's right. You gave me the parademon. And he's missing an arm. I gotta find his arm. But yeah, he's cool. He was one of the guys I was missing. And I didn't put him on my shelf yet. He's over, I took him out of my bag and he's real close. But behind me is a display. Let me see if I can see him. Oh, he's not where I had him. He's not on the shelf with the rest of the guys, but he's on a table with my amigos. That's right. You gave me the parademon, the red one. I think they made a green one too. Yeah, I'm missing one of the. I'm missing another. I'm missing some weird guys. I don't know if I have the golden pharaoh or not. But I just bought Orion. I just bought Orion like last. I just bought Orion like last year, maybe, with his weird helmet that changes. He looks nothing like the Orion from the comic, but it's supposed to be him. Darkseid's son, I think he is. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, he was missing an arm. That's right. Danny says, if you still living in a neighborhood near my cousin. Yeah. Yeah. Her kids play with my girl, Audrey. Yeah. And we still see them now and then. In the summer, they always call up each other and hang out. So she has good kids, Mia and Ava. So yeah, we still see them. We always plan on doing a barbecue or something. It will happen. One day it will happen. We got to let everything settle down. Because people are scared right now, including me. I'm not going to do anything until I know it's safe. And the weird thing is, like, everything's getting canceled, and everything we know is getting canceled, which is disappointing at first. But then when I look at my schedule now, I'm kind of glad because now I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to travel. So that's the good thing about it. Traveling's the worst part about traveling. Traveling is the worst part of traveling. Getting on airplanes and stuff. Like when they're too close to each other, when the trips are too close, that's when I don't like them as much. But that would happen once a month. I don't know how I do it, but people do it. Let's see. Superpower Shazam was the one I really wanted and finally got him last year. Oh, cool, man. Did you get a nice clean one and stuff? Because he's hard to find with the cape intact because the little thing on a cape always breaks. I got him. I bought him years ago. I got Shazam. I got Cyborg and Plastic Man all in one day, and it was nuts. I kept approaching the guy all day long and offering him ridiculous prices. And he had Cyborg for like $300. And I remember offering him $80. I'll give you 80. I'll give you 80. And then eventually he didn't sell it. So he sold it to me for 80. But I said, if you sell them to me for 80, I'll buy Plastic Man for $45 and Shazam for $45. And I gave him, and he said, okay. And I bought all those three guys. So whatever that is, $130. So I got all those guys, and the thing about him is he sold them to me, and he didn't have to. And a lot of times when the dealer, I could feel it when I'm buying from dealers. Sometimes they feel seller's remorse. They feel it, and I always tell them, you don't have to sell it to me, but that's just what I'm offering. I won't buy it. That's what I could afford it. And I see it, the look on their faces is you don't have to sell it, but they do anyway. And I bought last year, a few years ago, recently, I bought some Star Wars vehicles that I needed. I bought the Jawa Sandcrawler, and I bought the Star Destroyer, and I forgot what it was, but I offered the guy the Jawa Sandcrawler. I offered him $100 for it because I forgot what he had, but he was selling it for more than that. And then I offered him $50 for the Star Destroyer, and he was selling it for more than that. And I had the $150 cash on me, and I had it in my hand. So here, I'll take them both for $150. And then he said the same thing. He goes, "Oh, dude, I had these since I'm a kid." And I said, "Well, why are you selling them then? Don't sell them if you had them since you were a kid." And he went, "No, I have to." I'm like, "But why?" I said, "You don't have to sell them to me. You can just tell me no, and I won't buy them." And he went, "No, go ahead, take them." I'm like, and I felt bad that I bought them from the guy because he felt bad. But then it went away, and then his wife was there, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, that's good. We need to get rid of it." So she was happy, but I could tell that he kind of got forced into it. But I don't know. If you don't want to sell it, don't sell it. But I think those were fair prices I offered. Because they're just going to sit here on my shelf. I'm not reselling anything. I buy them because I like them. And there's one guy, another guy too. I don't know why these people bring stuff to the conventions and then they're sad when I want to buy it. It's really strange. One guy had the Yoda house, the Dagobah playset, and I wanted it. I never had it when I was a kid. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And I forgot what it was, like $20 or something. And I told the guy, "Yeah, I'll take it." And it came with the box. But the box he had was all, it had duct tape on it. Like, because he patched it up. He had it since he was a kid. And he said, I said, "I'll take the box." He goes, "Well, it's worth a lot more than $20. And I didn't offer him. That's what his price was. And I said, "Well, that's what your price is. What is it worth?" And he goes, "Nah, you could give me $20 because the box is all taped up. And there was no foam. The foam in the swamp was kind of messed up. And there's a few missing pieces, like some of the luggage was missing or something. There's one or two pieces missing." And I said, "I'll give you $20 for it. Yeah, I'll buy it." And then he says, "But you have to promise that you're going to keep the box." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll put it right like on display right behind the thing." And so I still have the box. So that's another guy where I said, "You don't have to sell to me if you don't want to. I want it because I don't have it. But if it's making you sad, then don't sell it. Like, I don't know why you brought it here." So it's kind of weird. If you don't want to sell it, then don't. That's just what I'm saying. And the test is, the big test is, I found out that on eBay, we put stuff on eBay. And at first you're like, "I'm going to put stuff on eBay," and you're counting like, if I sell all this stuff, I'll make $2,000, whatever. But then when it comes down to it and somebody wants to buy your Ernie and Bert for like whatever, you got $25 on there, they offer you 15, and my son's real happy. And then I'm like, I don't want to sell this thing for $15. That's way too cheap for Fisher Price, Ernie and Bert. So then that's how you know, like, if you can part with something. If somebody offers you a price and you're like, "No," and I took it, I either take it down off eBay or make the price higher. And then, I don't know. What's it going to take? I don't know. That's a thing. Seller's remorse, buyer's remorse. It's an actual thing. It happens. Let's see what you guys are saying. Have you ever bought something at a convention that you were nervous to bring home to roast because of the price you paid? Not really. Not too much. I don't think I've ever overpaid for something, but I did pay a lot for stuff. But I got what I think was worth. I bought a whole bunch of photos from Kim Simmons, the photographer from the Star Wars toys, and I gave the guy about, I think it was like $250. But I kept going over there and buying another one. I make money and go buy it. But I realize I'm buying stuff with convention money. It's different for convention money versus versus my own money. But yeah, I bought something. I bought things that she didn't. If she was with me, she wouldn't want me to buy it. Or it's not that. Not that she doesn't want me to buy it, but she's like when I was at a convention and I bought a Yak Face figure, and he was $325 or $320. And it's kind of like weird because she knows the value that I love these things. And we both tell each other, well, we spent a lot more for a lot less, you know? So like we spend more on taxes, you know? And then you don't get anything. You pay $2,000 in taxes, you get nothing. You get to keep your house, you know? Like you get nothing. It's just a tax. So when we look at it that way, we if I'm buying art, like I bought a big piece of Terry Moore sketch for $200. But to me, that like it was worth it. I like, man, it's so cool. I want that piece of art, and I bought it. And when I came home, and the price is on the back because it was for an auction, and I don't hide the price. It's just like, but if I'm ready to discuss it, but when on the back she said that piece cost $200, I'm like, yeah, and then she'll say, well, that's going in a frame and on our wall then, you know, so that kind of thing, and then, of course, like a lot of stuff I'll buy, it's for charity, or if I buy something for charity, like that piece for charity, it's a little different because I have a Magnolia piece on the wall that we bought for charity, and that costs a little bit, but I don't know what it costs because Rose bought it for me for Christmas. So I'm a fan about buying art and buying toys and paying stuff that if you want it, I don't feel like it costs enough if you're comfortable with buying it. So I never felt like I got ripped off ever with my purchases, especially if you're buying a piece of art from the artist and or from the guy who owned it as a kid, you know. So it's different. Like when I sell paintings, I have to be willing to sell them for the price I say. I'm comfortable. If I wasn't comfortable, they would be more money or less money, you know. So it's yeah, that's never been a topic we fight over or argue over, but we don't really argue about anything too much. Just regular stuff, you know. What are we gonna eat? I didn't like that movie. Husband and wife stuff. That's all. That's what husband and wife. That's what marriage becomes after a while. Like, what are we gonna eat? What are we gonna watch? What are the kids doing? Mom, can you drop me off? You know, that's kind of stuff. That's also what we got. Are there any good display cases for the figures? I don't really have my figures in display cases. My figures are all on shelves. I got them all on shelves. So yes, they're collecting dust. I have a whole Star Wars section in my corner with shelves I bought at Home Depot, and they're those plastic shelving that you just snap together. And they're cool. I got it on. I got the Death Star on there to add at, the shuttle, Slave One, the Millennium Falcon. I had the Cantina with the blue snaggletooth in there. I've been collecting Star Wars since I'm a kid. So I have probably one of the best collections you'll ever see in your life. But I'm not going to be the ultimate collector. Maybe. But I'm not a mint on card guy. I don't need a mint on card. I always buy my stuff loose. And if it's not loose, I'll open it. Like I bought, one of the latest ones I bought was R2-D2 with the pop-up lightsaber. I bought him. And I remember he was pricey, but I bought him. You know, that's why I go to conventions and I buy stuff I want. It's the only place to do it, you know. I think it was like $80 or $85 or something. But now all the figures are like $80, $200. All the guys I need are expensive. But after a while, you're like, hell with it. I'm going to buy it. Because every time I see it, it's more and more money. And I got the A-Wing pilot recently. and I only needed 4 at the end. A-Wing Pilot, I needed R2 Lightsaber, Yak Face. What was one other guy? Oh, Man-O-Man. I got all of those guys. And they were all pretty good price, you know? I'm happy. And then I know I've experienced that if I don't buy it and I go home and like, oh, I should have got it. Because when you're at a convention, you have all your money with you. And then once you spend it and you go home and then 2 weeks later, you forget about the convention. And then, but you remember, oh, cool, I have a Man-O-Man now. I just bought him for $125, but I have him. He's mine. And I never have to look for him again. And that's what happens. And my friend Mari from Comics was there when I experienced that. I kept going back to the table and looking at a Man-O-Man, offering the guy, will you take this? Will you take this? And he went, no. So I gave the guy money. Like, all right, I'll take it. And I have it. And it's an awesome shape. It looks cool. But now when I go to the conventions and the guys have the vintage Star Wars, I still look at them, but I don't have to shop anymore. I can just admire them. It's like, yep, I have them all. There's not one that I'm missing now. I have all of them. And I don't replace them with new guys because the guys that I played with as kids, I keep them. I think they're cooler. Oh, yeah, it's good. You guys had me going for a while there. D. Bratz, I had those Fisher-Price Sesame Street guys, complete with the Sesame Street buildings. Yeah, I had those as a kid, too. And then, I don't know what happened to them. When you're kids, then there's new kids. They get your toys. That's what always happened to me. I was able to keep my Migos and my Star Wars, my superhero stuff. But now my son is really into Fisher-Price stuff. And he builds towns. He builds towns and sets up miniatures. And it's pretty cool. And he said before, he's like, what he does is very unique. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, it's really cool. And I showed him, like, there's a lot of toy photographers who do the same thing with, they set up toys and little towns and take photos. And there's this guy called Danny Newman, who's really talented at that. And right now he has a Ghost Rider story he's telling every day. It's like a diary. And he tells it with stories of Ghost Rider, pictures of Ghost Rider doing things. And I got to meet him at one of the toy show, at an art gallery toy show recently in Chicago. And he was awesome. I've been following for years, but I finally got to meet him. And that's another thing. You meet somebody and they already knew me too. But I show my son this guy who does these things. And I think it inspired him because, you know, when you're a kid, and I know when I was a kid, 8th grade, freshman high school, I was always afraid that other kids were going to see my toys and make fun of me. And then after a while, like, what happens is, like, your friends come over and they think it's cool. Now the next thing is, like, you have to bring a girl in the house and she has to think it's cool. Like, especially the girl, you might like her. And then, so that's what happened. The girls came over and I didn't have any time I didn't want them to see my basement. I didn't want them to see the Star Wars guys on the pool table, you know. But they came in the house and they saw my toys and they said, oh, these are cool. And I'm like, really? And I said, yeah. So we started playing Star Wars. Like all of us. I was like in 8th grade, the boys, the girls. And since that day, I knew I was just going to just embrace it. This is what I like to do. And I always, since that day is when I just knew that I'm not going to be embarrassed about having toys. And whoever wants to make fun of guys for having toys, I know the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie did that. They made fun of the guy. But meanwhile, in his collection, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's that guy. That's that guy. I want that. And then the Star Wars Saturday Night Live made a commercial where it made fun of the guys. But that was funny. See, if it's funny, it's funny. But I don't get offended at that stuff. I just think it's funny. I agree with most of it. Like the guys who don't let their kids play is kind of weird. Like, I always let my kids play with my stuff and touch it. Like, I don't mind. It's toys. I'm not going to get upset if they break something because they have in the past. Look, Daddy, Luke Skywalker's head came off, just like the Stormtrooper's helmet. I'm like, wasn't supposed to, but that's okay. So that happened a few times. But that's all right. I'll just fix it or something. So I play with my custom Egos with the kids, and the heads pop off all the time, or I got to repaint them. That's how it used to be anyway. I didn't mind it so much. Just got to do it. They're kids. Toys are meant to play toys. But I don't think my toys could survive another childhood without getting injury. And I don't really want them to play with Yak Face. I have some repro telescopic lightsabers that they're repro, but they only made of like 50. And I got them. I got Vader, Luke, and Obi-Wan. And they're really cool. And I have them in a case. I don't know if they're worth anything a lot, but I like them a lot. They're really fun. And I know there's a lot of collectors that are anti-repro, and if you have repro, they'll yell at you. But I don't mind repro at all. If you can't afford the real one, and you're happy with what the repro looks like, that's cool. I don't mind that. And I want to get a repro Baby Yoda to fit the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars scale, but because I don't think Hasbro's making one. And I just bought a Mandalorian figure. I just got him maybe last week in the mail. I got him, and he's 3 3/4 inch. He's really cool looking. So I still buy him. I only buy the 3 3/4 inch because if I buy the 6 inch, then I got another scale to collect. I don't like that. Let's see. Deep Brad says, when I got my first camera as a kid, I would set up my Star Wars figures and scenes and take pictures. They were blurry and undeveloped. Yeah, we all kind of did that. I would make movies with the VHS. I would do a few of those. I put them on the family videos. There's me flying the X-Wing with my hand and stuff. I got YouTube videos of me making Mego commercials with the kids. It's kind of fun. Kevin Bixby says, I got lucky. My wife helps me fuel my toy obsessions. She thinks it's fun. Yeah, my wife helps me too. She doesn't mind. You should see my house, man. I got figures all over the place. When you walk in my house, you know I live here. And there's my paintings are all over the house. Yeah, there's I had friends in the past who say when I was going to get married, they said, well, be prepared when you get married. You're going to have to get rid of all your stuff. I'm like, why? They said, because I had to sell all my stuff when I got married. And then I said, well, you married the wrong girl, you know? You married the wrong person. Why do you got to get rid of who you are? So I never had to get rid of anything. So it's cool. My wife's real easy for me to be married to. I enjoy it. It's not hard for me to do. If that makes sense, yeah. It does make sense. Let's see what else we got here. I felt out of breath there for a moment, guys. Need a swig for the working man. My screen is weird today because it's showing duplicates of my screen. But you can still see the main screen when I'm drawing on. Oh, you heard Gordy already. I always get to this song and then I gotta All right, we'll go Neptune. Here's Neptune. You're gonna hear it. Oh, I got distracted with online things. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Deep breath. It's got my Gilbert. Gilbert is colored. That's cool, man. I'm going to bring him in there. I'm going to bring him in there so we could see him. Look at this. This is cool. I'm going to bring him in there so we can see the whole thing. Uh-oh. I just ran over something with my wheel. All right, let's see. Look at that. Little Gilbert down here playing his ukulele. Ding 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 ding. That's cool. I like it. All right, let's see what else I got here. Let's draw some more stuff. The bad thing about waking up at 6 o'clock in the afternoon and eating right away is now I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry right away, sooner, faster. And when I stay up like this all the time, when I'm doing night shift, vampire hours, I'm constantly hungry because I don't eat a big meal ever this whole time I'm awake. So I'll eat a little bit. I'll eat small things I'll eat small meals to get me going, to keep me alive. And it's almost like when you're eating at a convention, we're at our table snacking just so we could stay alive. And that's what it feels like. So I might need to go pretty soon to go eat. So I'm the kind of guy, if my blood sugar gets too low, I get a headache and it's bad. I gotta bounce back. It's bad for anybody, but if my blood sugar gets low and I get a headache, the headache stays. It's with me now. Then I'm like, oh, I'm grumpy. Imagine me grumpy. You don't want to see that. See what you guys are saying. Deep breath's folding laundry. That's okay. You got to do it, man. You've got to be domestic at times. You got to fold laundry because you're the guy who needs to do it. I love this song. This song feels like the theme song for my show, for all my shows. It does. Danny says, thanks for answering all my questions and sharing some memories. Oh, yeah, you got to go, Danny. You're a good man, sir. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was cool. Yeah, man, I don't mind talking because it gets me talking and rattling about stories, too. It's kind of fun. And Robin's here. Hey, Robin Nelson. You made it. We were waiting for you this whole time. It's like, where's Robin Nelson? When's she going to show up? So I have all this cake and no one here to help me eat it. I don't know if I'm making cake. My daughter made cake today. She made bread, zucchini bread, and yesterday she made brownies. So she's not messing around. I add some bubbles. It's getting shaken. Mm, 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 mm. Yip, 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 yip. This guy's named Gus. That's Gus. He first appeared in Gilbert Volume 2. He's the Gogogi Gutha fish. He's the living legend prophecy of the Gogogi Gutha fish. It's true. He's feared by most, but they realized he's not here to destroy us. He's here to be one of us. That's the best way when the threat becomes you, becomes one of you. Better. He doesn't want to destroy us. He wants to become one of us. I should have said that in the comic. I didn't say that. Let's see. Fish. These are amphibians. They're amphibian species. It's an amphibian tribe. Fiblothians. Oh yeah, Kevin Bixby, I saw. I saw your drawings from Free Comic Book Day weekend. That was cool. I'm going to show it too. Show in a few moments. I'm in the zone right now. I got the head tilt going real good. You know when you draw, you tilt your head. Gills. Yeah. Some strange fish people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, Bizarro. Yeah, your Bizarro was cool, man. You drew it on a live stream. What are you going to work on after the stream? Bizarro was from my 11-year-old cousin. Me, what I'm going to work on after the stream, more Gilbert. I'm going to be working on Gilbert all night. So yeah, I have to catch up on this. It needs to be finished. I want it to be done. It needs to be done. The deadlines are here. I want to get this done as soon as I could. Jerry's here, Jerry Mansfield. Do amphibians tell little wet lies? They do. They all the time. And they lie in the wetness. It's hard for these people to stay dry. They don't know what dry is, you know? Dry does not exist. Amphibians. Said they're probably soaked all the time, you know? They always get wet. Wonder if they have to do laundry. But they're naked. They don't wear clothes. Their clothes are built into their bodies.
What's cracking? You already know who it is.
What's cracking?
Freight train tough. Astro world is nasty.
I got this. I'm the dean of this earth. I got this. That's what he's saying. Very confident young fella. I don't know if he's young. He sounds energetic and young. I got this. Do I have a lot more to do on Gilbert? Yes, I do. It's an 80-page book. This is page 38. So I drew it all already. I drew a lot of the pages. I penciled a lot of it. I penciled up to page 72. And I'm inking it now. So yeah, I got a little bit to go. But I think I could do it this week. We'll see if I could get it all finished this week. I'd like to. So then if I clear this up, man, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for the famous cartoonist. It's going to be good for me and the rest of my other books that are waiting. And normally I don't like to work on all these books at one time, but it was hard to say no this time. And I'm feeling it now. Feeling a struggle. The struggle of the famous cartoonist. Trying to make ends meet. Trying to do things beyond the realms of mortal men. Trying to channel Jack Kirby. It's a difficult task. But he's here now and then helping me out. He knows what I'm doing. He knows what I'm up against. This guy makes a half appearance and he's still a lot of work. All right, look at that. Dog shaking. Yep, 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 yep. I'm a dog. It's like, I want to go do stuff. I want to go do dog things. Let's get cracking. That's what he says. I got this. Oh, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Man, that Gordy knows how to rock. This is cool. Some waves in air. This is a very strange story. When you guys eventually are able to read this, you're going to like it and say, man, that Artie's a weird guy. Maybe. See, I want to add a little sparkle around his head. Let's see. Let's see what I can do here with this one. Yeah, I'll do that. Because I know if I do it in the other place, it's not going to be behind layers of lines. This is what I'm doing. Here, let's do that. See what it looks like. Yeah, there you go. It's working. So, when I color this, it'll be like an explosion behind his dog's head. Ruff, 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 ruff. Okay? It's not bad. Let's see. I'm going to make it a little larger. Yeah, right? I like that. Now, let's see. What if I did that? I could do that. That works. It's all true. Yeah, that's gonna be look good. Be fun to see when it's published. Yeah, man. I think this comes out around Halloween. I think so. Yeah, man. I drew several of these pages on these live drawing shows, so you could say as seen on Famous Cartoonist Draws Things. This is page 38. I also have page 39 here. See, this is the way I pencil. I have first 72 pages all penciled like this. It's kind of what I was doing last week at 3 in the morning. I was just drawing real fast, trying to get it all in there. See, because you could see that my lettering and my penciling is just so loose. See, it's just real loose. And I fine tune it with the pencils or with the inks. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? I'm gonna do this one next, but first, I think I need to take a break. I need to go and eat some food, because I'm starting to get the growling like, why, are you hungry? Didn't you eat yet? I said, no, I did not eat yet. I'm going to look at Kevin Bixby's drawing, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put it in there. We're going to enlarge it so it fits the screen for all to see. It's cool that you guys send me stuff. That's cool. I like it. It's kind of like, okay, it's like reader mail. Look what the fans send mail. The kids send at home. Yeah. See? There's Fair Play. Mr. Terrific, his name is the original one, right? And then Gilbert hanging out with a dinosaur. It's kind of fun. I like that. I like it all. I just got a pinup page for Powers in Action today too, but I'm going to bring it up another time because it's not finished and I don't want to show it until the artist knows he's satisfied, and which is cool. And yeah, these are cool. Oh, I just noticed that he's underwater. See, the line here goes through him. I didn't notice that. I thought it was in the background on the beach, but no, he's underwater with Gilbert. He's underwater with the Gilbert. And Gilbert's cool. But thanks, because I think I need to go eat because I'm getting very hungry, and it's technically still morning for me, so it's kind of like lunchtime now. I'm gonna go eat and eat a lot of things. See what we got in the fridge. Maybe I'll have more of that pasta. That was delicious. And make sure you follow me and all that stuff. But I'm really happy that you guys joined me today. I'm Famous Cartoonist Draws Things, number 17, episode 17. But I will see you guys next time when I do this. Hopefully I do a morning show. I never know. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but it's only Monday still. Wow. I've been awake for 2 Mondays in a row and it's been the same day. You guys are awesome. Keep drawing stuff. Oh, I might go get Harold's. Yeah, that might be good. But keep doing things, man. Keep drawing. Keep celebrating. Keep staying home and chilling. And today's Star Wars Day, so make sure you watch Star Wars stuff. Or not. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.